LLS helped me file my insurance claims properly.
Day 5,840 and counting, and I'm still in remission.
To learn more and get help on day 1, day 2, day 983, or any day, please visit LLS.org or call 1-800-955-4572. That's LLS.org, 1-800-955-4572.
You're listening to the new 101.7 The Truth, founded in partnership with Associated Bank. Your money works here. 101.7 FM, 1510 AM, WGKB Waukesha, and W269DL Milwaukee, a locally owned Good Karma brand station. This is your 101.7 The Truth News Update.
Hello, everyone. This is Rhea Riley with your news update. JetBlue is discontinuing a route at Milwaukee Mitchell International Airport. Its summer seasonal route between Milwaukee and John F. Kennedy International Airport in New York will end in 2025. The airline cited low performance of the route and limited aircraft as reasons. Customers affected by the change will have the option to connect through Boston or receive a full refund when traveling JetBlue. No massive merger for grocery giant Kroger and Albertsons. A federal judge has temporarily halted a proposed merger between the two supermarket giants. Federal regulators argue that combining the two change would be bad for consumers and workers by eliminating competition. The companies say a merger would help them better compete with big retailers like Walmart, Costco, and Amazon. The case may now move to the FTC, although Kroger and Albertsons have asked a different federal judge to block the in-house proceedings. Kroger is the parent company for local brands Metromark and Pick and Save. Albertsons owns brands Safeway and Jewel-Osco. The man that faked his death is set to go to court. Returning home after faking his death and fleeing the country, Ryan Borgward disappeared in August after a trip to Green Lake, and his kayak was later found overturned in the lake. Borgward faked his death and fled to Eastern Europe in October. Green Lake Sheriff Mark Podol says this.
He's cooperated with us, got on an airplane, and landed in the United States.
Was he extradited?
No, he came back on his own.
Borgward is being charged with obstruction of a police officer and has since been released from jail on a signature bond. He will be due in court next year, January 13th. This has been your news update. Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris is next on the new 101.7 The Truth.
Bringing you his authentic perspectives on important topics.
They live in suburbs together. They live in the city together. They hang out together, all in the same family. We're the only idiots that fight because we want our voice to only be on one side. Like, does that even make any sense? And when the side loses, you lose everything. They, on the other hand, have a voice no matter what because somebody that looks like them is always in control.
Frank, candid, and straight to the point.
Well, it's just a skewed system.
Of course it is.
It's a lot of judgment.
But answer my question, though. Should we let people go? Should we let people go? Like, let's just forget about bail altogether. And if your neighbor commits a homicide and kills people up, if you kill people and they next to you and you just let them come back and live right next to you, they can live upstairs from you. Let them come in your house.
Frank, candid, and straight to the point. This is the best radio show in the state of Wisconsin. Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 101.7 The Truth and The Truth app.
Now, he's the mayor of the city of Milwaukee. He's a young man. Give him a chance. I only complain about things that I care about. What I want you to do is pretend like I'm in St. Louis. And all I'm asking the mayor and the Common Council president and the Common Council, show me.
Now, live from the American Family Insurance Studio at the Avenue in the heart of downtown Milwaukee, here is Dr. Ken Harris.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris, 833-212-1017 is it? I'm sorry. It's just, other than Tony Smith and what, DJ Brother Z, When I come in here, all the chairs are too short. And I got to lift them all the way up just so I can sit down on some of my legs. Like,
Hold on, Dr. Ken.
Hold on.
I'm 6 foot.
Boy, you ain't 6 foot. I'm sorry, not boy, man, sir.
I'm 6 foot.
You ain't say, come here. You ain't 6 foot.
Bro.
Come on.
He is not 6 foot. He just walked right past me. Oh, heck he not.
Really? You 6'2"?
I'm 6 foot.
Is he taller than me? No. 6 foot?
No.
He dreaming.
I'm 6 foot. It's on my driver license.
You lied to them. Everybody, time out. Everybody lies to the DMV.
No, yes, they do.
Listen. Everybody lies to the DMV, dude. I was 6 feet tall when I got my driver's license at what? 18? And I might have been 5'7" or 5'8", 6 feet tall. Come on, man.
I'm 6 foot. My driver license don't lie.
215 pounds. I ain't been 215 pounds in 15 years. Come on, man. Really? All right, y'all saw it for yourself. It's on YouTube. Everybody said he stood up and dude said he was 6 feet tall. Hey. I'll tell you what my friends say. Oh, that's cute. Woo! It's Thursday. 833-212-1017 is the number. I cannot believe you said that. He actually said he was 6 feet tall. Dude, come on.
How tall do you think I am?
Probably about 5'10 and a half, 5'11.
That's crazy. That's disrespectful.
Is everything disrespectful to you when somebody tells you the truth? You asked me how tall I thought you were. Then when I tell you, you tell me I'm being disrespectful.
5'10". I'm taller than 5'10".
Okay. Whatever you say. I ain't going to argue with you. I don't care. It ain't my head. My head big enough to put me over 6 feet. So I'm just saying.
And my hair couldn't count if you really.
Your hair don't count, dude. The top of your head counts. The top of your head counts. What is wrong with you? What kind of producer are you? I'm just being silly today. We're just being silly today. So I'm looking at myself on YouTube, and I really hate how I look on YouTube because sometimes I'll slouch. And, my shoulders will roll in and all that. And sometimes I got to sit up and act like I got some sense. Look like I got some sense, right? So today is my Friday. Tomorrow I'm off. I'm taking off. I am not on assignment, so I don't care what nobody tells you. Kyle or anybody that said I am not on assignment. Bruh ain't here. Got it? That's what I'm talking about. I ain't here. I'm leaving. I ain't going nowhere, but I'm just not going to be on the radio. 833-212-1017 is the number. I'm trying to avoid my open because there's some things that are going on in America that trouble me. But I think we're living in a time where younger generations don't see the markers that are about to occur and that have occurred that are going to cause disruption to everything we know in life. That because we have not had repercussions to actions of people since 2020? We are going to get into a level of, I believe, unlawlessness and disruption that younger people haven't seen before, and it's going to cause them to react in a way that's negative both for them, their family, and the community, along with the country. And we have to be careful because many of them have never lived through the type of things that are going on right now, but many of us have. And so we've gone from the Me Too movement, right, of hammering everybody. If you say what I don't like, we get rid of you. If you do something I don't like, we get rid of you. If I'm in my own dressing room and you come in my dressing room and I'm naked, I get canceled and I get fired, even though you came in my room. Because when gender or lifestyle or anything differs, the person with perceived power always loses. But we're starting to see this pushback that now the pushback is coming way too far from the other side. People have been tired of healthcare for the last 25, 30, 40, 50 years. Healthcare has gotten exceedingly more expensive and exceedingly poor. Hospitals do a poor job. Insurance companies do a poor job. Medical doctors do a poor job. Nurses do a poor job. And it's only maybe like 5% of them, and the rest do an absolutely phenomenal job. But the squeaky wheel gets the grease, right? If the only one that's causing trouble are the ones that are bad, then that's what we see. And thus we have a homicide of a CEO of the largest healthcare insurance company in the country because your claims have increased because you've increased your business, 45 million people? 50% of your claims are denied. 50%. It was either that or it was 50% this year more than last year. Does it really matter? The majority, a good number of your claims were denied from people who paid into the system and made you money. What's the outcome? A homicide. Look at education. We have places out east where education is treated like your royalty if you can get a good education, right? Blue blood families. But yet, in places like Maryland, parents are now domestic terrorists if they stand up to the school board or stand up to bad teaching or stand up to people who want to teach your children something that you don't want them to be taught. Had a discussion with somebody the other day who tried to tell me that the school gets to tell me what my kids learn as it relates to books. Not in 4K. If you're in 4K, you learn what your parents want you to learn. School or no school. I'm still the parent. And a teacher or a school board or a principal should not be taking over for me in dictating what my child will read. Now, if you want to put it in a library, fine. Put it in a library, make it off limits to my children. This is the 4K, 5K, 6K, 6-year-old, right? That's where their books are. All the other books, no, my child does not need to learn about alternative lifestyles. They don't need to learn about same-sex marriages. They don't need to learn about heterosexual marriages. They need to what? Be kids. Learn their ABCs. Read Dr. Seuss. Read Charlie Brown. One thing my mother taught me about sex education. You know what she said? You're old enough to know when you're old enough to ask. And you won't ask until you notice something. But if I make you notice it sooner, you're going to ask sooner. And you're going to start seeking sooner. And that's dangerous. So what do? You leave it to the parent. Now, banning a book, it's a little extreme. It's their prerogative, but it's a little extreme in my case. So what do? We counter that. We call them domestic terrorists. Oh, wait a minute. Those are called parents. Nah, they're domestic terrorists. What about banking? We saw today one of our partners, right, got hacked. And now people are taking your money from overseas. What are we doing? Why would we trust somewhere to put our money in when we can't trust the fact that our money will be there when we want it? Not to mention they got so many fees. I read the story about the bank in Texas, Comerica, that's charging seniors and hanging up on seniors and charging fees and just taking their money. So now the fact that people don't trust banks. And if you're already getting hacked, right? But then there's politics. Both parties are borderline bankrupt as it relates to dealing with the rest of America. And they're not really offering any real solutions that people like. Have the people spoken? Oh, they most certainly have. They spoke about healthcare, they spoke about education, they spoke about banking, and they spoke about politics. Those four things that impact our lives each and every day. So unless you put your ear to the ground and listen to what's coming, you're going to miss the takeover. You're going to miss the slow degradation of American culture because people keep complaining about living in a country that people fight to come live in. The sheer hypocrisy of the argument makes no sense. You're actually arguing that Elon Musk is now worth $400 billion, the richest man in the world, double what the closest other person is, Jeff Bezos, around $200 million. And you're upset that he made the money to the point that you come up with excuses as to how he got rich. Well, you know, he didn't start from the beginning. Right. And your kids won't start from the beginning either. They're going to start based on what you give them. Why is that bad? I know one thing. Some of the things that we're doing in this country are going to cause a ripple effect, and it's not going to affect my generation, and it's not going to affect Generation X. And to a large point, it won't hit older millennials. It's going to start smacking them younger millennials and Gen Z. And you keep turning a deaf ear to what people are trying to tell you. Just because you like it doesn't make it so. Just because you think it's important doesn't make it so. Let me put it like this. And you tell me what you think about it. 833-212-1017. Let me put it like this. If you're cooking food in your restaurant and nobody wants to eat the food, what do you do? Healthcare. If you're offering healthcare in your company and nobody wants to bother with healthcare because it's so difficult and they get nothing back and they get denied, what do you do? If your child is an MPS and you've had it, you are so frustrated because you're putting your child in the school, but no one wants to come to the school because they're not educating and they're not graduating and they're not learning anything. What do you do? If you put your money in a bank and the bank's not giving you any money back, which is what people did in the early 2000s through maybe 4 or 5 years ago, and they gave you zero back, 0.1% on a savings account, but now nobody wants to put their money in a bank, what do you do? But then we come to politics. You put all your eggs in one party. People vote and nobody wants your party. What do you do? 833-212-1017 is the number. The only thing that you can take out of all that is that it doesn't matter if it's politics or banking or education or healthcare. One thing you got to remember this year, in 2024, the people have spoken.
And that is Dr. Ken's Truth on the new 1017 The Truth.
Truth Nation,
and all our juicy jammers out there.
Make certain that you tap into Jam with Juice each and every day so you can quench your thirst.
That is right. You already know you can sip on us every single day, like Benjamin said, from 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. But that's not all, y'all.
Catch us exclusively on YouTube for our 6 to 7 show.
Yep, only on Thursdays.
Catch Jamming with Juice each and every day on 101.7 The Truth.
Now sip on that.
It's almost that time. The Black and Diverse Gala featuring the pitch finale, Thursday, December 19th, 5 to 9 p.m. at the Deco. The Wisconsin Black Chamber is about to change another life and award the first place winner of the pitch finale with $10,000. Second place, $7,000. Third place, $3,000. There will also be great food, a wine tasting of the wines made by our Black Winemaker Chicago Day Trip participants, entertainment, vendors, networking, and just an all-around great vibe. Join the Wisconsin Black Chamber of Commerce in celebrating another great year at our Black and Diverse Gala featuring the pitch finale. Tickets go on sale November 22nd. Visit twbcc.com to purchase tickets so you don't miss out on what we have going on.
Associated Bank knows your small business isn't just a venture. It's your dream and a vital part of the community. And we're not just a bank. We're your neighbors. We're looking out for you. That's why Associated Bank offers quick online applications and approvals with funding in as fast as 1 business day, checking with no minimum balances or maintenance fees, and prompt customer service. Explore our products at associatedbank.com/business or visit a branch for more details. Subject to credit approval. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Hi, Drew and Jonathan Scott here, reminding you that a lot of life's firsts are better with help from American Family Insurance. Like your first home expansion or your first big lightning strike. There's a first for everything. Get the right home policy at the right price with the right help from American Family's agents. Life's better when you're under American Family's roof. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company SI and its operating company 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
My overall experience with Gruber Law Offices has been phenomenal.
The treatment was excellent.
They will be supportive of you. They will listen to you.
It was a great experience knowing that I had people to help me.
I know I could count on them to do what I needed to get done.
Experience with Gruber was great.
They gave me my life back.
It was amazing.
He gets results.
We know how to win. If you've been injured, call Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Gruber Law Offices had my best interests at heart.
This is Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 101.7 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. 833-212-1017 is the number. So I got a bunch of stories I want to get to today, and I got my top 5 at 5 coming up. And want to also remind you that this Sunday, December 15th, get ready for the ultimate holiday celebration at the Celebrity Status Holiday Gala. Join the Status Gala at the Potawatomi Legacy Ballroom at 6 p.m. for a night of fashion, business networking, and incredible performances. Enjoy Grammy-nominated Corinne Hawthorne. Y'all remember her? They got a tribute to Quincy Jones by Sam Belton, Jazz Experience, and a whole bunch more. Tickets are just $75. You get that, and you get dinner, and you get a $10 gameplay, plus special table rates and exclusive perks. Vendors are also welcome. Don't miss out on this great holiday gala by getting your tickets now with Celebrity Status Barber and Beauty at Mayfair or at Eventbrite.com. Celebrity Status Gala coming up this Sunday. But Cheddar, I don't think I got something going on. So I might have to accidentally roll through and come up with my 75 so I can be, hey, I'm here for the gala. Yeah. Now, if you remember her, if that's the same one, Corinne Hawthorne, who was on one of those reality shows that can sing and was Grammy nominated. So I'm just saying, I can't sing like that. So also want to remember The award-winning 101.7 The Truth is proud home of Milwaukee Panthers basketball. We have Sunday matinee basketball on The Truth, and the Milwaukee Panthers return home and host the Akron University Zips at Fiserv Forum. Scott Juarez will have coverage this Sunday starting at 12 noon on 101.7 The Truth and the Milwaukee Panthers Sports Network from Learfield. Tip-off is set at 12:30. We'll be right here at 12 o'clock for the pregame, so make sure y'all check it out right here. 833-212-1017 is the number. So I came across this story. Milwaukee woman was sentenced. And if I'm not mistaken, it was federal court. A Milwaukee woman was sentenced today. No, yesterday. Today is Thursday. Nearly 20 years for sex trafficking. Colette Mahan, 41 years old, got a 19-year federal prison sentence after pleading guilty in May to one count of sex trafficking by force, fraud, and coercion. According to the news release, Mahan, who officials say was known as Pimpin' Amanda, trafficked numerous female victims over a period of at least 17 years, using a combination of false promises, threats, and extreme physical violence. Victims include minors as young as 14 years old. And after sentencing, the judge described how Mahan beat young women and girls into selling their bodies and how they are suffering paid for her luxuries, including a Porsche. For many years, Ms. Mahan sought to dehumanize others for her own financial benefit. I commend the courage and resilience shown by the victims when sharing the details of the abuse they suffered at Ms. Mahan's hands. U.S. Attorney Gregory Hanstatt said in the release. The 19-year sentence reflects their courage as well as the tireless and collaborative work by the FBI, Milwaukee Police Department, federal prosecutors in pursuing justice in this case. Authorities say Mahan was victimized in a similar way during her teenage years. So do we give her a pass because she was a victim? Eight 833-212-1017. Health, care, banking, education, politics. It seems to me like this place is falling apart, this thing we call America. And no, we're not going to stop it and do a redo. So some of y'all that keep saying that, we need to redo the Constitution, the only reason you redo the Constitution is because the people that don't already have everything want the rest of everything. And if you don't have the power and if you don't have the money, there is absolutely no way you're going to win. It's not by accident you need 3/4 majority of the states to call for a constitutional convention. And then when you ratify it, it has to be ratified by 3/4 of the states. There's a reason for that. It should be hard to change something and make it worse than it already is. But if y'all keep pushing about changing all the things that are going on in America that you don't like, you're going to get worse. The Electoral College is the one thing that always comes to mind when people complain and scream and holler about we need to change it. You only want to change it because people that you don't want in office are in office. When it works for you, though, you don't really care. The problem is if you don't have money and the population, it won't work for you if we don't have an electoral college. Look at all these countries in South America, Central America that are quote-unquote democratic, one man, one vote. If I can coerce just 50% of y'all, I win every single time. Nothing balances that out and those populations out like what? Like an electoral college. So the folks with 10 people has the same power as people with 100. Because we all only got 2 delegates each. We have to think things through instead of screaming and hollering and getting upset. 833-212-1017 is the number. Coley, you're on the award-winning 1017 The Truth.
Hello, my brother, and good talking to you.
All right.
I want to first applaud you for your comments about what should be taught to children, things of that nature. But I'm going to make this short and sweet. If you're mad at a Marine for saying he's a Marine while he killed someone, then Pimpin' Amanda should be mad because she said it happened to her. I'll leave it with that. Thank you, brother.
All right. I never said I was mad at a Marine for saying he was a Marine. I'm mad at people that were supporting him saying that he was a Marine when it had nothing to do with the fact that he killed a man who didn't do anything to anybody but stand there and scream and holler threats. So what I got out of that and what other people have been saying is that it's okay for this guy to kill somebody else for saying what he's going to do without doing it. Dead. Not arrested, not in jail for disorderly conduct, but dead. The life choked out of you. And then when they find drugs in your system, have the audacity to insinuate that the drugs wrapped themselves around his neck and squoze until he had zero air and died of asphyxiation. But he had K2 in him. And he was schizophrenic. That has nothing to do with you choking a man to death. And then people defending you by saying you're a Marine and you served your country. So what? Criminals serve their country. And as far as I'm concerned, Daniel Perry will never have my respect, not as a veteran and not as a human being. Because I have no contact with him. I don't. So I don't really care. But if I see him in a room, I'm not speaking to him. I'm not holding my hand out to shake his hand because he killed somebody. And he proved that the justice system doesn't hold people responsible. And it's unfortunate. And I don't care who was on the jury. Don't mitigate it because it was black people on the jury. That's irrelevant. You had a group of people that were tired of crime in New York, and somebody finally stepped up and did something about it. And instead of holding them accountable, you allowed them to get away with murder, which is just another reason never to visit New York.
Don't touch that dial. More of Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harrison is next on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
What if one day you went to your secret hiding place? You know, that spot that only you know about? And instead of what you came for, you found something a little different. What if instead of your private stash, you found a simple phone number, 1-800-662-HELP? What would you do? Would you stop and give it some thought? Would you make the call? The truth is, all drug use comes with risk. Before those risks become real, before drugs turn your life upside down, before drugs take their toll on you and your family, know that there is help. You can quit. If you or someone you love is struggling with drug use or prescription drug misuse, call 1-800-662-HELP for 24-hour free and confidential information and treatment referral. Or go to samhsa.gov/thereishelp.
More than 6 million kids in the U.S. have ADHD, and many aren't getting the support they need. At understood.org, we can help. Sometimes in class, the only thing your child can focus on are the thoughts racing through their head.
Why am I always falling behind? Why do I feel so alone? So different.
Your child is looking to you for answers. But as a parent, you probably have a lot of questions too. What should I do next? Where do I even start? At understood.org, we provide parents with the resources they need to help kids with ADHD thrive. Your child wants to thrive. Be the reason they do. Visit understood.org/thereason to get started.
At Cousin Subs, the bigger your smile, the better we feel.
That's why our menu features something for everyone, like our Wisconsin cheese curds, golden fries, creamy shakes, and mac and cheese, all paired with your favorite sub, or our subs in a bowl. And don't forget our kids' meals, now with a free cookie. Here's to a better day. Cousin Subs. We believe in better.
Are you or someone you know 18 or older and need a driver's permit? Greater Milwaukee Urban League's free driver's permit classes can put you in the driver's seat. You'll learn the rules of the road from qualified instructors, moving you one step closer to successfully earning your driver's license permit. You may also qualify for free behind-the-wheel instruction. Classes are available December through March. You can attend virtually or in person. Visit tmul.org for more information today.
Well, we have a broken down vehicle on northbound 43 just about at Good Hope Road. It's off on the right shoulder. Just watch out as you're heading through that area. Southbound on 43 also backing up from Fond du Lac Avenue down through the Marquette and onto 4394. On the westbound side of 94, you're hitting the brakes around 16th Street all the way to Mitchell Boulevard. Eastbound slowing from 84th Street to about 35th. And then we got some backups heading through the Hale interchange, making your way down from Cold Spring Road all the way down and around the Hale interchange. Oh, and one other thing, we do have an accident on 41 southbound at North Avenue. That's off on the right shoulder. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast. Tonight, clear and cold, a low of 6 above, with a wind chill of 0 to 5 below. Tomorrow, mostly to partly sunny, a high of 27. For the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 101.7 The Truth.
This is Associated Bank Sports Update on 101.7 The Truth is powered by ESPN Milwaukee. I'm Brandon Snibe. Green Bay Packers hit the practice field for the first time this week in their preparation for the Seahawks on Sunday night. Quarterback Jordan Love spoke following practice on the mission this team has with 4 games remaining.
We're kind of in the same boat as last year. We're saying we got to win out. Our goal is to win every game to finish the stretch.
Receiver Romeo Dobbs and cornerback Jair Alexander both returning as full participants at practice for the Pack. Over to college hoops, where the UWM Panthers improved to 7-4 with a dominating win over UW Green Bay. This one by a final score of 88-67.
Both teams with 7 turnovers. Green Bay just gave it away. Panthers on a breakaway. Polian will rise, and KP will dunk, and Doug Gottlieb will take a timeout.
Next up for the Panthers is a home matchup against Akron on Sunday. And lastly, the Bucks' semifinal opponent is set for the NBA Cup. They'll take on the Atlanta Hawks Sunday in Las Vegas. Tip time set for 3:30. The sports update brought to you by Associated Bank, proudly supporting your hometown teams. Member FDIC.
This is Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 101.7 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. Hey, you can stream and watch us on YouTube and at 1017thetruth.com. Make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss a minute of my show. And then you can listen to everybody else when they do it. 833-212-1017 is the number. Have you seen the Jamie Foxx?
I've seen some of it, clips.
Okay. I like it. Here's my issue with it. The interspersion of profanity and God. Like, dude, make up your mind. Jesus or junk, right? But don't be going back and forth and F this and blank this and then talk about how you so moved by God and Jesus and then you start crying and But overall, on a scale of 0 to 10, I'll give it a definite 8. It was, he loses 2 for the profanity. But he gets an 8 because it was real and it was authentic. And then, did you see it, DJ Brother Z? When he got to the very end on the piano and he said, blank you, and then he caught himself and said, I can't do that. I have to stop that. And then he went on, and I said, okay, there's hope. There's hope. Did you see he said his real name? You know what his real name is? What Jamie Foxx's real name is? Eric Bishop. And so I just think it's interesting that, you have to have a pseudonym to be on TV and Netflix and make movies and all that because somebody else has like your name. Oh, somebody got there first. So you got to come up with a different name. And so it's pretty cool. I enjoyed it. It was funny as all get out. The profanity was a little much. Not that I have virgin ears and I can't hear it. I was a cop. but and every now and then have, slipped and said some of those words. But the fact that he came back and he recognizes that it wasn't him, that he didn't do this by himself, that it was bigger than him. And he had a sister that prayed for him and a daughter that prayed for him. It was, I think you'll enjoy it. And that he was able to go back home and did his rehab in Chicago and all that. I thought that was pretty cool. Unlike Young Thug, who really can't go home. I'm just saying. So, I don't know if y'all remember his, he had a RICO plea deal. Like, you must be doing some business when they get you on racketeering. Like, that's like, dude, like, you done jacked everybody and made all the money. The fact that they noticed you for racketeering means you was causing trouble. He wanted modification. Y'all know who Young Thug is, right? Jeffrey Williams. He prevailed partially. I'm sure you all know that part of his plea deal is he couldn't go home. They was like, dude, you are such a negative influence on Atlanta that you need to go live somewhere else. You need to roll up out of here. Williams will now be allowed to return to Atlanta for short periods of time. Initially, the lifestyle rapper was banned from the metro Atlanta area. You know how bad you got to blankety-blank somebody off? Because you can't say that P word on radio, but you could say all the other profanity, but that's just kind of weird to me. But he was banned from the metro Atlanta area for the next 15 years unless he was hosting an anti-drug gang. Okay, that don't make no sense because if he's hosting a gang summit, that's negative, right? A gang summit? You mean an anti-gang summit? But that's not what this says. This says anti-drug, gang, or violence summits with the community's youth. So, anti is only attached to the drug part. But if you want to get your gang together, hang out with young. Okay, I'm just kidding. So, the modification of his probation posted by X by Thunder Daily specifies the conditions of his return after completing 3 years of probation without a violation. Mr. Williams can therefore visit his home. Hey, excuse me, Jason, you can't come home. You have to stay. Like, you've been so bad and such a negative influence. We need you to move to Tahiti. And, like he'll rough it and go to Hawaii for, I'll wait 3 years and then go. He can visit his home address located in the city that has been provided under seal and the specific address given to probation for up to 2 weeks at a time, 4 times a year, non-consecutive. Mr. Williams must notify probation at least 5 days prior to coming to this address. After he completes 3 years of probation, he'll be allowed to spend up to 8 weeks a year, 2 weeks at a time, at his home and on the edge of metro Atlanta. How bad do you have to be? How poor of an influence do you have to be for a judge? And I've only seen it like once in the city of Milwaukee where a person caused so much trouble that they got a restraining order and the person couldn't come within, like, I think 5 miles of downtown Milwaukee and City Hall. That's pretty bad. That's worse than a divorce. Like, you get a divorce, you can still see the person. You can still be in the same place with the person. Y'all might both have new spouses or new boyfriends, girlfriends, and all that. But when somebody tell you, hey, bro, you from Milwaukee? Yeah, you can't come home. I need you to. That's like, hey, Jason, yeah. Did you grow up in Brown Deer? No, you can't come home.
Got me messed up.
Like you can't even like dude, you can't be in Metro Milwaukee. You cannot be in the collar counties. You can't be in Kenosha, Racine, Milwaukee, Waukesha, Washington, or Ozaukee County. Like, wait, what? And when you come, you got to tell us 5 days before you come. When you come, you can only stay for 2 weeks, and you're going to do that 4 times a year for a total of 8 weeks. Wait, what? Think about that. And dude had so many houses. He has a house on the outskirts of Metro Atlanta. They said, you use that house. So here's what I need you to do. You got a house down by the Milwaukee-St. Francis border, southeast, by the lake. That's where you can visit. Your family is in Brown Deer. But you, when you come to town, that's where you got to go. You can't go nowhere else. You can't go out. You can't go party. You can't go to the club. You can't go to the cigar bar. You can't go to your girls. You got to go to that address. And you can stay no longer than 2 weeks. What would you do? Is that fair? 833-212-1017. Is that fair to a guy who's serving probation but can't go home? I've never heard of that. But you had to have been such a negative influence. In a non-negotiated plea, the Atlanta rapper pled guilty to multiple charges in Fulton County Court last October 31st, firearm possession, participation in a criminal street gang activity, pled no contest to racketeering, and leading a criminal street gang. A criminal street gang. Judge Whitaker ruled allowed Williams to be freed from jail with what some would call extreme conditions. The rapper was to be subject to a 4-decade-long probation. 40 years. If he adhered to the conditions for the first 15 years without violation, the remaining 25 years would be suspended. The total sentence was 40 years to serve the first 5 years in prison, but commuted to the time you've already served. Judge Whitaker expressed hope in Williams' ability to successfully navigate his probation and give back to the Atlanta community. She also warned the rapper about the consequences of failure. I want you to be more of the solution and less of the problem. Good luck to you. There better be no violations, but if there are, you're coming back to see me. Hopefully, with the probation modification ruling, Young Thug will have a better chance at success. 40 years? 40 years? Wow. The Town, you're on the award-winning 101.7 The Truth.
What's going on?
What's up?
Hey, well, all the stuff that Thugger done did, man, you better take that and run with it. He can work it out. Don't cry for him. Straight up.
Yeah, but he can't even go see family. Well, now at least he can go see family.
That man was down there in Atlanta doing whatever he wanted to do.
That's because they let him. They let him.
Okay, I know, but with everything, if you want everything being even, though, if he got to jump through it is crazy, and I'm thinking like, damn, is this constitutional? but he done did.
He did some stuff.
Right?
He did some
but
stuff.
He did so much, man. Like, all right, man, you'll be all right. You can't go to the cigar bar. You can make the cigar bar in the house you can stay in for 2 weeks and then leave and then come back and leave again. And okay, that's cool. That's cool.
And the weird part about
Jamie Foxx,
he can live anywhere in America. He can live anywhere in America. He just can't live in Atlanta.
But that's like, you know what that's like though? That's messed up, and that's a punishment. That's like Black Panther not be able to go back to Wakanda. Or you can Black Panther, you can go to Wakanda, but only for 2 weeks at a time.
Look.
You know,
look. It's like a black guy committing a crime, and he get convicted of a felony, and they make him wear a Klan outfit. You got to wear this in order to serve your sentence.
It's messed up. It's messed up. I mean, it's messed up, but like I say, all the stuff he done got away with, and the stuff that we don't know, what we don't know, he all right.
Yeah.
He all right.
That's
true. Hey, I saw that Jamie Foxx. Bro. That Jamie Foxx is. I liked it. And I mean, I don't know. I think you a little bit prude on it, but everybody in their relationship with God is personal. So, but I liked it. I didn't mind. I didn't mind the cursing or anything like that.
Okay.
To me, it seemed like it made him more realer in a sense.
All right.
Like because on TV and stuff like that, they want you to be one way or another, or whatever like that. And everybody knows duality in man. So I liked it though.
All right.
That's my time.
That.
Peace.
All right, brother. What? Yep. 833-212-1017 is the number.
Don't touch that dial. More of Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harrison is next on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
1017 The Truth and Associated Bank have teamed up for our Black-owned business give back. Each quarter, we'll be giving away $6,000 worth of free commercial advertising for 3 months to 5 Black businesses. To sign up for your business's chance to win $6,000 of commercial campaign marketing on the award-winning 1017 The Truth, visit blackbusinessgiveback.com. That's blackbusinessgiveback.com. Let's rebuild our community's backbone through exposure on the truth. For official rules, head to blackbusinessgiveback.com. Associated Bank, member FDIC.
Sometimes it takes a breakdown to have a breakthrough. And at Vin Baker Recovery, they understand the power of having real support while you're on that journey to recovery. This is why at Vin Baker Recovery, they customize treatment plans specific for your needs. Vin Baker Recovery provides our community and anyone looking for help with access to mental health care and recovery support, helping you treat addiction. So whether opioid abuse, alcohol, or other controlled substances, Vin Baker Recovery helps you get back to the lifestyle that you know will be the best option for your future. Vin Baker Recovery offers licensed counseling and therapy services to curb the mental health problems that have been impacting our communities for far too long. They provide services like medication-assisted treatment, outpatient care, and hub and spoke services with peer support. So what are you waiting for? Vin Baker Recovery accepts walk-ins and appointments. It's just that easy. Just visit VinBakerRecovery.com. That's VinBakerRecovery.com. They're here to help you win the day.
Backed by popular demand, Shawnee's Exquisite Catering is once again taking your holiday gathering to the next level. And not only are they bringing back their traditional holiday meals, but they're adding something new and just as delicious: seafood dressing. And of course, they'll have their family meal deal. Book now for fresh, flavorful dishes that will make your holiday season unforgettable. Pickup and delivery is available as well, so all you have to do is enjoy your holiday. Contact Shawnee's Exquisite Catering at 414-216-3469. Happy holidays.
All insurance companies, they want to know where are your cars housed.
Right.
They want to know how far are you driving to get to and from work every day. They want to know all these different things for weather patterns. Are you living in northern Wisconsin, or are you living down in Tornado Alley somewhere in Kentucky? These things make a difference as to how your insurance rates are formed. It needs you to be factual, and every single time somebody commits these different frauds, it all adds up, and everybody ends up paying the price for it down the road.
Erie Insurance, providing the protection you need and the service you expect, all at a great price.
Wisconsin is as hard-working of a place as you'll ever find. People here are tough, but even the toughest among us need help after a serious accident. At Gruber Law Offices, we won't stop fighting for you and your family. One call, that's all.
When you're high, you feel different. Pretty obvious, right? You think different, talk different, but if you feel different, you drive different. So if you're high, just don't drive. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
This is Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris, 833-212-1017. What? What? Yes. Why are you turning it down? Turn it up. You thought that because something is hip hop, it's fast. That's the only thing that counts in slow versus fast is beats per minute. The genre doesn't count. You got slow country music, you got fast country music. It's still country music.
But the vibe of the song.
The vibe of the song can be the same. Like, I don't understand what you're saying. Does country music vibe like rap music?
But this is like upbeat. This is an upbeat slow song.
There's no such thing as an upbeat slow song.
Yes, there is. And this
Why are you
is why
hollering at me?
I'm the DJ.
And I've been doing it longer than you. What's your point again? You want to fight? Let's fight. Come on. You taller than me. Come on, let's fight. See how you just turned him? Leave my show alone. Go away. That's DJ Brother Z causing trouble. As he always does, every single day from the time he gets in the building to the time he leaves. 833-212-1017 is the number. That is beats per minute count. Genre of the song, where it comes from, has no bearing on anything. What it comes down to is beats per minute. That's it. End of story. When we come back, I got the top 5 at 5 coming up, and I got some stuff. I'm trying to work my way through these pardons that Biden is doing, has done, and is thinking about doing. Word has it, he's trying to pardon even more people or anyone that came under a certain federal statute that sent them to jail under the crime bill for crack cocaine. Well, while I understand that, does anybody in the Democratic, Republican Party, Libertarian, I don't care what party you're with, does anybody look at the victim? Drug selling is not a victimless crime. What about the families that got destroyed? I understand that you took black men and black women out of their families and put them in jail. Yeah, I get that. But what about the victims that died or now have health issues because you sold them bad drugs or just drugs, period? Do we ever look at the victim when it comes to that? So now they're talking about Biden. I was watching CNN. Biden is thinking about commuting even more people, and people are asking, you should look at that, you should do that. If you think crime was bad now after COVID, what do you think's going to happen when all these people who've been in jail for 20 years or 10 years get out and go back to the communities? Unless you have a plan in place, they're going to go back to the same lives that they had before because that's going to be the expectation. Human nature may kick in, and at that point, I don't know. You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon, top 5 at 5 up next.
It started with a prediction.
We'll go out there and play basketball and win.
And how many games?
6.
It became the culture.
Chance of Bucks in 6.
Being a Bucks fan means you live and breathe Bucks in 6. Brandon Jennings created the prophecy. Tune into Behind the Bucks, the story of Brandon Jennings on the Bucks Plus audio network. Behind the Bucks is presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. Available now on bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, and streaming wherever you get your podcasts.
That's for the culture.
Truth Nation, we have big news. Mark your calendars for Friday, February 28th, as we will be hosting our first annual Truth Community Awards, celebrating individuals making a real difference in our community. This can't-miss event will honor the excellence in our community and recognize the quiet warriors creating extraordinary impacts. Tickets go on sale soon, and you won't want to miss this night of inspiration and celebration. See you Friday, February 28th at the Truth Community Awards, presented by Potawatomi Casino and Hotel.
Calling all big thinkers. The world's climate is changing. These aren't new facts, but it means we must think in new ways about how we can live, prosper, and provide energy for our world while protecting our planet. Engineers are answering the call to create cleaner, safer, reliable energy. Solar power, harnessing the power of the sun to light all corners of the globe. Wind power, channeling a simple breeze to bring electricity to our homes. Hydropower, using the natural flow of water to generate electricity. Nuclear power, engineering advanced reactors that are safer, more reliable, and produce zero carbon emissions. Engineers are leading the way and empowering the next generation. Engineers answer the call. Brought to you by the National Academy of Engineering. Learn more at nae.edu.
My name is Ariel. When I arrived in the U.S. at 19, I struggled to find job opportunities without my high school diploma. My entire life changed when I took a chance and got my high school diploma at age 22. Everything I have, my education, my career, my marriage, I owe to the Adult Literacy Center and my teachers. They were with me every step of the way, helping with my English and math, making sure I push through all the challenges.
Ariel, your success proves that what I'm doing as a teacher has real meaning.
It was an honor helping you achieve your greatness. Now you're helping others achieve theirs. It inspires me.
Education was the key that unlocked all my opportunities.
When you graduate, they graduate. Find free and supportive adult education centers near you at finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
You are listening to the home of Milwaukee's realest conversations. 1017 FM, 1510 AM WGKB Waukesha and W269DL Milwaukee, a locally owned Good Karma brand station. This is your 1017 The Truth News Update.
Hello, everyone. This is Rhea Riley with your news update. JetBlue is discontinuing a route at Milwaukee Mitchell International Airport. Its summer seasonal route between Milwaukee and John F. Kennedy International Airport in New York will end in 2025. The airline cited low performance of the route and limited aircraft as reasons. Customers affected by the change will have the option to connect through Boston or receive a full refund when traveling JetBlue. No massive merger for grocery giant Kroger and Albertsons. A federal judge has temporarily halted a proposed merger between the two supermarket giants. Federal regulators argue that combining the two change would be bad for consumers and workers by eliminating competition. The companies say a merger would help them better compete with big retailers like Walmart, Costco, and Amazon. The case may now move to the FTC, although Kroger and Albertsons have asked a different federal judge to block the in-house proceedings. Kroger is the parent company for local brands Metromark and Pick and Save. Albertsons owns brands Safeway and Jewel-Osco. The man that faked his death is set to go to court. Returning home after faking his death and fleeing the country, Ryan Borgward disappeared in August after a trip to Green Lake, and his kayak was later found overturned in the lake. Borgward faked his death and fled to Eastern Europe in October. Green Lake Sheriff Mark Podol says this.
He's cooperated with us, got on an airplane, and landed in the United States.
Was he extradited?
No. Nope, he came back on his own.
Borgward is being charged with obstruction of a police officer and has since been released from jail on a signature bond. He will be due in court next year, January 13th. This has been your news update. Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris continues on the new 1017 The Truth.
Bringing you his authentic perspectives on important topics.
They live in suburbs together. They live in the city together. They hang out together, all in the same family. We're the only idiots that fight because we want our voice to only be on one side. Like, does that even make any sense? And when the side loses, you lose everything. They, on the other hand, have a voice no matter what because somebody that looks like them is always in control.
Frank, candid, and straight to the point.
Well, it's just a skewed system.
Of course it is.
It's a lot of judgment.
But answer my question, though. Should we let people go? Should we let people go? Like, let's just forget about bail altogether. And if your neighbor commits a homicide and kills people up, if you kill people and they next to you and you just let them come back and live right next to you, they can live upstairs from you. Let them come in your house.
Frank, candid, and straight to the point. This is the best radio show in the state of Wisconsin. Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth and The Truth app.
Now, he's the mayor of the city of Milwaukee. He's a young man. Give him a chance. I only complain about things that I care about. What I want you to do is pretend like I'm in St. Louis. And all I'm asking the mayor and the Common Council president and the Common Council, show me.
Now, live from the American Family Insurance Studio at the Avenue in the heart of downtown Milwaukee, here is Dr. Ken Harris.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. I just got beat up in the producer's office. Like, I was in the producer's office minding my own business, and I was talking, and I got punched in the chest. And I'm thinking that's elder abuse, and I'm going to sue somebody. But I need criminal charges to be brought first. Criminal charges of elder abuse. I don't know if I could bring myself to move slow enough, to talk slow enough, to pretend like I got beat up, but I'm just saying. Depends on how much money it is, too. I'm just saying. Depends on how much money. Like, if you're talking like, like $50 million, oh, everything hurt. He beat me up. But if you're talking like, $5 million, then I got to give the lawyer a third, and then family going to start scrounging, somebody pay for this, pay for that. No, I'll just take it like a man. Got punched in the chest. My chest hurt. That's gas. But my chest hurt. I'm telling you. 833-212-1017 is the number. The caller said Big Pharma kills far more people than any street drug dealer. Some of them were sentenced to more time than Derek Chauvin, who lynched George Floyd in the street. Good, Doc. You know that's wrong. I don't understand what that means, but okay. 833-212-10. Boom, 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 boom. Oh, let me do this. Turn my computer on, because sometimes some of my stories open up in one place and they don't open up in another. And, y'all be, hey, how come you didn't this and blah, 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 blah. So, I have to learn to work outside my comfort zone, right? That's what I was told. You should learn how to work. You're too. That's because I know what works and what doesn't. And I can sit here and try to talk you into doing it, or I could just do it, do it myself. I think that would work so much better.
Number 5.
From WISN.com, Carmen Schools of Science and Technology are breaking ground on a $55 million high school campus. Now, help me with this. Carmen kicked off construction for a $55 million high school today, marking the first time the charter school network will have its building independent of MPS. The new school is going up at the corner of 20th and Oklahoma. I know exactly where that is. On Milwaukee's south side, a former medical arts pavilion currently sits on the property, but will be raised, making room for the new school. That is actually incredible. Rendering of the main entrance at Carmen Schools is on their website. They said, finding a place that's close by, that has enough acreage to accommodate all we want to make happen for our kids, took about 10 years. Expected to be open for the 26-27 school year, the new campus will unite students and staff from the existing Carmen South and Carmen Southeast high schools, which operate out of MPS, Abla Schools, and Pulaski High School. These buildings are about 3 miles apart from each other. Carmen is a public charter school network that operates within the MPS district and until now, exclusively out of MPS buildings. They're going to have a soccer field, modern gymnasium. Why ain't they building this on the north side at Carmen? Oh, that's right. South side, my bad. Carmen touts high-achieving students with 99% of their most recent graduates headed to college, and $28.7 million was awarded to their students in scholarships. We are now able to build a high school that can house 1,000 to 1,100 kids, give us scale, and allows us to open up possibilities around electives. So, I mean, I think it's great. I'm always for education. And we've got that on the north side here. So my question is, what exactly is going to happen? What's going to happen? I hope great things happen. They seem to have learned how to do it right and where to do it. And so I'm kind of happy for them. What I would hope they would do is replicate that on the north side of Milwaukee so that kids up here can have that same opportunity.
Number 4.
From CNN.com, weeks of unexplained drone sightings, if you've heard of this, in New Jersey, has people, politicians, public safety kind of wondering, what is this? Public officials are now calling for a response to the drone activity, and experts are working to uncover exactly what it is. White House National Security Communications Advisor John Kirby said today, talked to the public and told them, there's no threat. Okay, so help me with something. You don't know what it is. How do you know there's no threat? We don't know what it is, but there's no threat at this time. Okay, time out. That is a dumb statement. We have no evidence at this time, this is what Kirby said, that the reported drone sightings pose a national security or a public safety threat or have a foreign nexus. But you have no idea because you don't know what the heck they are. Have you sent planes up to see what the heck they are? While many drone sightings have been reported, Kirby said, images and videos of the drones that authorities in state and local law enforcement have reviewed appear to show many of the reported sightings are actually manned aircraft that are being operated lawfully. Okay. So why isn't anybody saying that? Why isn't that being reported all around, that I have to go here to a website in an obscure place to figure out that what you're doing is legit? I don't get it. I don't get it.
Number 3.
This is for everybody. Well, let me ask. Is DJ Brother Z in there? All right, I got a question for y'all. Have you thought about doing your DNA to have it tested to see where you come from and all that?
I did it.
Okay, what about you, DJ Brother Z?
He said, yeah, he thought about it.
All right. Hey, DJ Brother Z. Let's see if hold off on that. All right? Just kind of hold off on that. And now Jason looking at me like, wait, what? So it was the middle of the workday. Jenna Jowatowski was at the flower shop in Newberry, Michigan, when she got a call from an unknown number. Now, the 23-year-old doesn't answer unknown calls, but she decided to pick up the phone May of 2022. To her surprise, it was a detective from the Michigan State Police. He was like, have you heard of the Baby Garnett case? Jenna had heard of it. 1997, deceased infant found in a campground pit toilet at the Garnett Lake campground, right where Jenna grew up. Investigators couldn't find any leads on the identity of the baby or anyone who witnessed a person abandoning an infant. That's according to a news release from the Michigan Attorney General's office. Case went cold, and the Baby Garnett case became a known murder mystery in Jenna's small town for decades. Jenna says the detective told her on the phone, your DNA is a match. You are related to the dead infant in 1997. Jenna was in shock. Detective sounded sure. Jenna says she wondered how he even obtained her DNA. She said, well, about 6 months earlier, her friend had gotten a family tree DNA test for Christmas, and Jenna decided, I'm going to order my own. DNA from other Baby Garnett relatives led detectives to Jenna's family tree DNA kit, and that's according to court documents. Well, the detective said a woman from Identifinders International, a genetic genealogy investigative firm would call her about her DNA to help identify closer relatives. Well, according to court documents, they reopened the cold case in 2017 and worked with the forensic company to extract DNA. And she explained the situation to her mother when she got home, and it was just crazy. We were both sitting there, and I don't even know who the mother or father could have been. But then her mother, Kara, started to wonder whether the detective call was a scam. And so Jenna's grandfather had just been scammed by somebody, and so they were kind of curious. So Jenna contacted the senior forensic geologist and cold case liaison and found out that Jenna and court documents had been filed about it in court. And so Jenna claims they requested her password to be able to kind of upload her DNA. She was concerned it was a scammer, refused to cooperate, hung up the phone. A week later from the flower shop, she got a call from her mother. "You need to come home." Jenna rushes home. Her cousin was sitting with her mom at the kitchen table. Police contacted her cousin, who works as a victim's advocate for the county prosecutor, to explain the baby Garnett situation to Jenna. It turns out it wasn't a scam. Well, they went through all the analysis. They spoke to her mother. Kara, Jenna's mother, ends up being a half-sister to the baby Garnett. And what they found out, Kara, now 42, hadn't spoken to her mother, Nancy, since she was 18 years old because they had a bad relationship, and Jenna had never even met her grandmother. Nancy, who lived in Wyoming when police questioned her, would be the one behind the entire mystery. It ended up being her baby. Jenna said, "I'd grown up knowing about the case my whole life and then came to find out it was my grandmother that did it." She delivered a newborn alone at her Newberry house, during which baby Garnett died due to asphyxiation, and that this death could have been prevented by medical intervention that she did not seek. However, the defense is saying that, well, the baby got trapped in the birth canal, attempted to pull the baby out on her own, she couldn't do it, baby died. And so how traumatizing could it be that you go through all of this your entire life and you're hearing about this mass murderer or this killer of a baby that's found or somebody that stole, mountains of money, and find out it's your relative? But can you imagine being the mother when you found out that that was your half, that the baby that they found deceased was literally your half sister? That's rough.
Number 2.
All right, let me read it. That story was kind of long. I kind of got lost in it. This from the BBC, the British Broadcasting Corporation. U.S. President Joe Biden has issued presidential pardons to 39 Americans convicted of nonviolent crimes and commuted the sentences of 1,500 other people, and I think 6 or 9 of them are here in Wisconsin. White House described it as the most acts of presidential clemency issued in a single day. It comes after Biden made the decision to pardon his own son, Hunter Biden. I guess he's trying to offset the fact that he did some nepotism, right? U.S. Constitution decrees that a president has the broad power to grant reprieves and pardons for offenses against the United States, except in cases of impeachment. Announcing the move, Biden said those pardons have shown successful rehabilitation and has shown commitment in making their communities stronger and safer. How could you possibly know 1,500 people? I'm just saying. And so now people are harassing him, right? We want you to do more. What do you mean do more? Everybody that convicted under a certain statute with crack cocaine, we want it commuted. No. Because there were actually victims in that. Oh, well. Trump granted 237 acts of clemency during his first term. They included 143 pardons and 94 cumulative sentences. Many were a flurry before he left office, just like this one. In recent days, Trump pledged to issue pardons on his first day in office to people who were convicted for participating in January 6, 2021 riot on Capitol Hill, in which his supporters tried to block the certification of Biden's election victory. He said this week that the pardons would be for people who were nonviolent. A vast majority should not be in jail, and they suffered gravely. I'm doing a little investigative work myself, and I'm working on a story out of the January 6 debacle, so to speak, and some actions of some people there and whether or not those people should be looked at. So I'm doing a little investigating. 2025 is going to be pretty interesting. It will be pretty interesting. I'm going to be doing a lot more newsworthy things, if I guess you can call it that. Newsworthy things. You know, if Jason will help me. If Jason don't help me, then I'm not doing it. So if I don't get it done, it's Jason's fault.
Number 1.
I had to do something like that, man. This from Reuters. So I like to read what's going on in America from foreign news sources to see if they're getting the story accurately. I like our local news, but I don't necessarily trust our local news to not be biased in a way that makes everything look different than it really is. Kind of look for straightforward, in the middle news. Well, Reuters said in the days since Luigi Mangione was charged with murder for gunning down top health insurance executive, more than 1,000 donations have poured into an online fundraiser for his defense, with messages, you ready? Supporting him and even celebrating the crime. In New York, wanted posters with the faces of CEOs have appeared on walls. Websites are selling Mangione merchandise, including hats, and the hat says CEO Hunter, printed across with a bullseye. And some on social media have swooned over his smile and six-pack abs. Mangione's been charged with murder for killing Brian Thompson, the United Healthcare CEO, a father of two, in a shooting December 4th outside a Manhattan hotel before an industry conference, set off a 5-day manhunt for the masked assailant. The crime he's accused of has been broadly condemned, but the Ivy League-educated, photogenic 26-year-old has become an unsettling mixture of folk hero, celebrity, online crush in certain circles, and his support has only seemingly intensified since they arrested him. Most of the messages on the crowdsourced site, and I'm not going to give the name of the site, reflect a deep frustration shared by many Americans over the U.S. healthcare system, where some treatments and reimbursements can be denied to patients depending on their insurance coverage, as well as broader anger over rising income inequality and soaring executive pay. Denying health care coverage to people is murder, but no one gets charged with that crime, one donor wrote, calling the killing a justifiable homicide. Several others simply wrote, deny, defend, depose, the words reportedly written on the shell casing found at the murder scene and intended to invoke tactics some accuse insurers of using to avoid paying out claims. More than $31,000 has been raised as of yesterday. And while people have dismay about it, there is significant frustration and anger over the healthcare system. Homicide, physical violence is never, ever the way out. But let's look at it. Americans pay more for health care than residents of any other country. Data shows spending on insurance premiums, out-of-pocket costs, pharmaceuticals, and health services all have increased over the last 5 years. Health insurers like United Health most often manage health benefits on behalf of employers and the government, which have a say in which drugs and services are being covered. Mangione suffered from chronic back pain that impacted his daily life, according to friends and social media posts, though it's unclear whether his personal health played a part in the shooting. On TikTok, users shared videos and photos of his outbursts and public messages of praise, and this man is an absolute legend. Class conscience is rising. Several sites included T-shirts with his face that said "Free Luigi." In this house, Luigi Mangione is a hero. End of story. And then others saw hats with the phrase "Don't deny my coverage." But either way, it's gotta be disturbing. It has to be disturbing. People are saying the system has to be better. This outrage wasn't caused just by accident. Think about that. This has been something that's been brewing for decades that nobody ever did anything about. And the more money insurance companies made, the more they paid their CEO. Now, that's the luck of the system. That's just how life goes. That's just the way it works. But do the people at the bottom always have to lose? Can you make a little less profit, still pay the people, and pay for those that don't have? And that's the problem. The system doesn't work, and it needs to be overhauled. Does it need to be overhauled like we did the Affordable Care Act? Absolutely not. Because you're still making people pay too much and pay more, and it doesn't cover many things. So that doesn't work either. But at some point, we have to wake up and realize healthcare, like I said in the beginning, education, politics, banking, times have changed. And if you don't wake up, somebody's going to wake you up. And you're not going to like how they do it.
Don't touch that dial. More of Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harrison is next on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com. We have Sunday matinee basketball on The Truth. The Milwaukee Panthers return home Sunday afternoon as they host the Akron Zips.
Panthers up 6. Pullian for 3 at the top. Book it. Stillwell left wing. Left open. Made him pay again. Stillwell forces Doug Gottlieb to take a timeout.
Scott Warris has the coverage Sunday starting at 11:30 a.m. on 1017 The Truth and the Milwaukee Panthers Sports Network from Learfield. Tip-off happens at 12 o'clock.
It's that time. Thursday, December 19th, the Wisconsin Black Chamber is adding value to someone's business with $10,000, $7,000, or $3,000. Thursday, December 19th at the Deco, 7140 West Greenfield Avenue, 5 to 9 p.m. We're celebrating our 3rd annual Black and Diverse Gala featuring the pitch finale. Of course, there'll be great food. This year, we highlight Tons of Love Catering, Lily Bell's Catering and Fine Dining, and Dream Foods. And we don't stop there. Deshae AG will be performing. The Black Winemaker Chicago Day Trip participants are hosting a wine tasting. There's life-changing networking opportunities, games, prizes, raffles, giveaways, and DJ L Boogie making your body move. And of course, there's vendors ready to help you get your last-minute shopping done while you party. We take pride in doing the most. We work hard all year, and we plan to celebrate with that same energy. It's all love. Thursday, December 19th, 5 to 9 at the Deco. Tickets are on sale now. Visit twbcc.com so you don't miss out on what we have going on. twbcc.com.
Associated Bank knows your small business isn't just a venture. It's your dream and a vital part of the community. And we're not just a bank. We're your neighbors. We're looking out for you. That's why Associated Bank offers quick online applications and approvals with funding in as fast as 1 business day, checking with no minimum balances or maintenance fees, and prompt customer service. Explore our products at associatedbank.com/business or visit a branch for more details. Subject to credit approval. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Life's better with American Family Insurance. Because whether it's a family road trip in your dream car or hosting a family reunion in your dream home, we help you feel protected so you can enjoy those dreams with peace of mind. Save up to 23% when you bundle home and auto. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Here at the new 1017 The Truth, we aim to be a staple in Milwaukee's Black community. We are committed to partnering with local organizations and supporting Black-owned businesses. We are proud to call Milwaukee our city and promise to be a positive reflection of our community. We look forward to celebrating Black culture and excellence with you every day as we make history and continue to uplift the voices in our city. Join us for the journey at the new 1017 The Truth, founded by Gruber Law Offices. Milwaukee Black Talk.
This is Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. 833-212-1017 is the number. Talking text line says, good doc, the above means that Black men who sold drugs rot in jail far longer than white men who murder people in the street, while Black people, Biden's pardon, who spent 25, 30 years behind bars for selling cooked drugs while whites get slaps on the wrist. Well, while that's true, I get it. And then at least Biden is not executing people at record numbers like the Donald did in 20. Well, it wasn't record numbers. He just restarted what they were already doing. Not taking up for Donald Trump, but do some people deserve the death penalty? That's the argument that you can only make if you're on a jury, right? You can agree or disagree, but I don't know. I'm torn now. I'm not necessarily for the death penalty. I used to be heavily for the death penalty. Now I'm not so sure. But I will never tell you what my decision is because it ain't none of y'all business. January 6th was a terrorist attempt to overthrow the government. Did you forget the chance to hang Vice President Pence? Comical. Well, that's true. And yet, in the same vein, y'all got to remember that all that could have been stopped had Pelosi allowed the National Guard to come in. The mayor of Washington, D.C. asked for the National Guard to be called in, sought permission from Speaker Pelosi, and she said no. So all of the issues that came up and all the people that came up and all the drama that came up could have been squelched instantaneously by simply lining the street with a line of troops to block them from entering the building. And they didn't. So it's almost like they wanted it to happen or caused it to happen or let it happen and then turned around and said, oh, that's too bad. But then we complain about it. I can't believe that happened. Well, it didn't have to happen, but you allowed it to happen because you wanted it to happen. And is it me? So I'm reading texts that are just coming in on the talking text line, clearly from other times and other places and other shows, because they all just came in at one time. And so I'm starting to get notifications from people on my phone. From yesterday. Let me send it back. And so this is weird. There must have been an issue with Chrome or something. Because all of these, I'm looking at these messages and they're talking about Starlink satellites and can I speak? It was really me. Text that got rid of that. Called the police. Like this is all from earlier shows and other. And so evidently there was an issue with Chrome today. Because somebody also texted me and said Chrome is the standard on Android. Google is the only company that can work at scale on this issue. Privacy and security are easier to call using AI when there's only a few options. Then they had the audacity to write, ain't about the money, sucker. Really? Anyway. Which is delayed, which is weird to me, which only means, I guess yesterday, or was it? Yeah, yesterday Facebook was down. Facebook and Instagram was down for most of the day. And then all of a sudden, I had 187 notifications. I'm like, what is that? Like every notification that came in, all came at the same time. You know the weird part about it? My notifications are set to off. So I don't know what was going on. I don't know what's happening today with Chrome. But you know what? I'm doing traffic, sports, and weather.
Don't touch that dial. More of Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harrison is next on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
What if one day you went to your secret hiding place and instead of what you came for, you found a phone number, 1-800-662-HELP? What would you do? Would you stop and give it some thought? Before drugs take their toll on you and your family, know that there is help. You can quit. For help with drug use, call 1-800-662-HELP for free and confidential information and treatment referral, or go to samhsa.gov/knowtherisks.
When severe weather hits and the power goes out, do you have a plan? For reliable power and peace of mind, propane can do that. It only takes about 10 seconds for a propane-powered generator to restore power to your home. So no matter what Mother Nature has in store, you know you're prepared. Learn more at wipga.org. This message is sponsored by your local propane provider and the Wisconsin Propane Education and Research Council.
It's time for Truth Takes, a thought-provoking commentary on the new 1017 The Truth. Here is Tory Lowe with his truth.
Breaking news, Milwaukee County Medical Examiner's Office is investigating the death of 43-year-old Devontae L. Mitchell outside of the Hyatt Regency on Sunday as a homicide. Breaking news, a Milwaukee mother is speaking out after her 17-year-old daughter, Amira Wallace, was shot and killed at Milwaukee's Deneen Park. This happened just after midnight on July 22nd. Breaking news, according to a sheriff's office report, Sean Grayson said he shot Sonia Massey after fearing she would throw boiling water at him, which would have caused great bodily harm or death. Breaking news, body cam video shows fatal police shooting of 4-year-old Illinois boy and man holding him hostage. Police responding to a domestic violence call shot a 4-year-old named Terrell Marshawn Miller and his mother's boyfriend. Now that I have your attention, these are families that are more than just a news story. These are families who are hurting. These are families that are searching for justice. As a community, it's our duty to get involved and make sure we do our part to make sure that these families receive the justice that they're searching for. Today, it's their families in the news. Tomorrow is yours. This is why it's important for us to make sure that we stay on the front lines and make sure that we do our part to help change what's going on in our neighborhood. Whether it's police brutality, whether it's senseless violence, whether it's human trafficking, we all can do our part and help each and every family that's affected negatively in our communities get justice.
This has been Truth Takes on the new 1017 The Truth. Listen to The Tory Lowe Show, weekdays from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m.
Well, we have an accident now on westbound 94 right about at Moreland Road. It is off on the left shoulder, so heads up with that. Other than that, we've got delays westbound 94 from 13th Street all the way through to about Mitchell Boulevard, back on the brakes right over the county line to the accident scene. Northbound 41 backing up from Mayfair Road all the way up past Burleigh. Southbound is slowing down just a bit past Capitol Drive down towards Burleigh. And then on northbound 43, delays right around the North Avenue curve up towards Keefe. Southbound's heavy from Fond du Lac Avenue all the way down through the Marquette. Back on the brakes from Lapham down to the KK River crossing. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast tonight, clear and cold, a low of 6 above, with a wind chill of 0 to 5 below. Then tomorrow, mostly to partly sunny, a high of 27. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 1017 The Truth.
This is Associated Bank Sports Update on 101.7 The Truth is powered by ESPN Milwaukee. I'm Brandon Snibe. Green Bay Packers hit the practice field for the first time this week in their preparation for the Seahawks on Sunday night. Quarterback Jordan Love spoke following practice on the mission this team has with 4 games remaining.
We're kind of in the same boat as last year. We're saying we got to win out. Our goal is to win every game to finish the stretch.
Receiver Romeo Doubs and cornerback Jair Alexander both returning as full participants at practice for the Pack. Over to college hoops, where the UWM Panthers improved to 7-4 with a dominating win over UW Green Bay. This one by a final score of 88-67.
Both teams with 7 turnovers. Green Bay just gave it away. Panthers on a breakaway. Pullian will rise, and KP will dunk, and Doug Gottlieb will take a timeout.
Next up for the Panthers is a home matchup against Akron on Sunday. And lastly, the Bucs semifinal opponent is set for the NBA Cup. They'll take on the Atlanta Hawks Sunday in Las Vegas. Tip time set for 3:30. The Sports Update brought to you by Associated Bank, proudly supporting your hometown teams. Member FDIC.
This is Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 101.7 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. 833-212-1017 is the number. So I was looking at this story. Where is it? You gotta love the internet. It is so... Okay, let's do this. Go away. We got to do something about these pop-up ads. I'm at the point now where I don't even want to go on the internet anymore because of pop-up ads. They are a pain. New York Post is reporting that 1 in 4 U.S. adults suspect they have undiagnosed ADHD. That's a new study, but only 13% have shared their concerns with a doctor. Attention deficit hyperactivity disorder is a developmental disorder characterized by inattentiveness, shocking, hyperactivity, always walking, impulsive behavior, most definitely. An estimated 4.4% of adults 18 to 44 have ADHD. This according to Ohio State University researchers in a survey of 1,006 adults last August. Anxiety, depression, and ADHD, all of these can look a lot like the same, but the wrong treatment can make things worse instead of helping that person feel better and improving their functioning. Who was that? Psychologist and Ohio State clinical assistant professor Justin Batarian. Batarian also said adults may realize they have undiagnosed ADHD once their kids are diagnosed, which is what I ended up doing, and they notice that they have similar symptoms. And it's supposed to be, you ready? Hereditary, which means if it's hereditary and your kid has it, guess who they got it from? And so it's funny because my daughter says, guess who I got this from? I got this from you. And I'm like, hey, it ain't my fault. He's like, yes, it is. It's hereditary and it's your fault. But I don't know if she has ADHD. I know I do. But I don't know if she has it. So I'll have to find out. They're overachievers, so they probably don't have it, unlike me. But I'm the one that has it. I don't know if my children have it. I don't know if my mother had it. I don't know if my father had it. There was another study in 2022 published in the Journal of European Psychiatry that found that many young people are diagnosing themselves with ADHD after watching TikTok, which is probably not a good thing to do. I'm just saying.
That's exactly what me and Zach was saying. Like, right. It's social media that's convincing everybody that they got ADHD.
Right, when in fact they just don't.
Because I'm not going to lie, if I look at the symptoms, I just feel like a lot of humans got some of them symptoms.
Which means what?
If that's the case, everybody got ADHD.
So we can wipe ADHD off the map and just find out it's part of human nature. Okay, we're done. See how easy that was? Man, I wish everything was like that.
Don't touch that dial. More of Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harrison is next on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com. Coming with straight truth.
We have to make sure that when we talk about making change, when you talk about vote, when you talk about these elections, when you talk about how we're going to get ahead, we definitely got to start paying attention to the local process, because these are the processes that are governing our lives.
Yes.
And they got you looking across the street down at Donald Trump. Mm-hmm. They've got you looking at Project 2025, but you barely got money to stay alive.
Catch the Tory Lowe Show every weekday from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m.
Teachers are dynamic leaders, shaping a new generation. They bring a variety of perspectives from diverse backgrounds, innovating how they teach to prepare students for our fast-changing world. Achieving this takes skill and expertise. They're tireless explorers, creatively discovering a universe of solutions, telling stories, experimenting, inspiring, mentoring, connecting cultures, and connecting with each other. Leading by example. Experience the unique joy of helping students thrive. Teaching is a journey that shapes lives. Are you ready to begin? Explore teaching at teach.org, a campaign supported by the U.S. Department of Education, teach.org, and 1 million teachers of color.
Prostate cancer screening is a simple blood test. It's a simple blood test. Get it done. Your family history of prostate cancer increases the risk for all the men in your family. It's a simple blood test. Get it done. Prostate cancer is most treatable when it's detected early. It's a simple blood test. Get it done. Men, it's your life. That's why it's so important to talk to your doctor about getting tested. If you want info on how to take action, the Prostate Cancer Foundation is here to help. For more than 30 years, PCF, a leader in scientific breakthroughs, has funded cutting-edge research that speeds new treatments into clinics, helping patients live longer with fewer complications. Go to pcf.org to learn more about prostate cancer and how you can advocate for yourself. Remember, it's your life, and it's a simple blood test. Get it done.
Hello, I'm Fantasia. When the United Negro College Fund was founded 80 years ago, they hoped they would change this nation for the better, and they have. Since 1944, UNCF has helped to make college dreams a reality for more than 500,000 students, creating countless leaders and change makers. 8 decades of empowering and supporting students on their journeys to higher education. Please visit uncf.org today and help us create a world where education knows no boundaries.
This is Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. Al from Sherman Park, you're on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. What's up?
Hey, Dr. Ken. I've been thinking about this healthcare issue a lot, and I think one of the things we have to, I guess, understand how the systems are used, how insurance is used, because most of your hospitals in America were founded by the Catholic Church, and so those hospital systems still tend to be nonprofit. So, for instance, Aurora Healthcare, Franciscan, those are nonprofits,
right?
But they still have to cover costs because some people come in with no insurance, and so it seems like the cost is moved over to the people who have insurance to keep the hospitals running and in business. And then when you look at your insurance companies, companies like Blue Cross Blue Shield are nonprofit, and then your Aetnas and your United Healthcare are for-profits. And then you have employers who are self-funded. So, for instance, when I worked for that big famous Milwaukee life insurance company, our insurance was self-funded by the company, but they put, say, like a United Healthcare in place to manage the payments of care.
Okay.
So if we know all these sources, we got to figure out why is it so expensive. And one of the reasons I think it is so expensive is because healthcare is very people labor intensive because people are doing the work for most things. So, for instance, you're laying on the operating table. It's not a computer or machine that's cutting you open, right?
Right.
It's that doctor who's highly skilled. It's that nurse who's caring for you. It's every employee, in from billing to valet to the janitor, and they're probably making 18 plus an hour to service you around the clock when you're in the hospital room, that hospital bed. So until we can figure out how to take the cost out, I don't think people are going to volunteer and not get paid like nuns used to do when they started the Mayo Clinic, right? We don't have nuns just volunteering healthcare anymore. People want to get paid and make a living. So how do we get the cost down?
So how do we?
That's the answer. And maybe we can't run to the doctor every time we have a sniffle or a cold, because I see that too. I was like, well, that's something you might just have to get over. Now, if it's serious where you're getting congestion in your lung, then you need to be seeing the doctor, get some antibiotics so it doesn't turn into something worse. But maybe we need to look at how we're using the doctor too.
But the doctor gets paid in the neighborhood of $400,000 to $500,000 a year.
So here's the problem. Right now, Illinois has like a Medicaid for all. And since I work in that world, I've been scheduling patients. Some of those doctors don't have appointments until May or June. This is your family doctor. And people are asking, why can't I get into their office? I said, well, first of all, we have a doctor shortage. The older doctors are retiring. They don't have a lot of new doctors coming in. We don't have a lot of foreign doctors coming in. Mm-hmm. And everyone cannot be seen when everyone has insurance, and you can't keep running to the doctor for a fever or a sniffle. And so that creates a lot of appointment times that are eaten up. And yes, some people will not get seen till May or June for the first doctor's appointment. So we got to start thinking about stuff like that, though.
All right. Well, thank you much. I appreciate it.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Have a good day.
I don't know if we're going to be able to get the cost of it down because people are so used to having that amount of money and working, getting paid. So how do you stop somebody from getting paid that much money and stop people from getting paid that much bonus when they do certain things? So I don't really think that I don't necessarily think that it's important to change it unless we have a real viable alternative to give people when we say we want to give you a new type of health care, and we just don't have it. The system is too entrenched into exactly what it is that we do when we pay doctors, and we expect money back when we invest in things like hospitals and insurance companies and all that. And so, like, what do? I don't understand what we do. Unless we just turn it into an all-cash system. Unless we say, hey, this is from now on, this is what we do. From now on, this is what we do. And so, I don't know. But it's the market we have. And they're only going to let you play with the market so much until you start to cause medical doctors and healthcare companies and hospitals and insurance companies to lose money. Then it'll change. Till then, ain't nobody really trying to do nothing about it. Nobody really cares. And it's really unfortunate. It is really unfortunate, but there's nothing we can do. It just costs too much. And until we decide to do something about it, it's going to continue to cost too much. And we're going to cry about it, and we're going to complain about it, and you're going to have other acts of idiocy like shooting CEOs and protests and rioting and all those things. And we're going to have to change it. And it's going to have to take us, like you and me, to figure out a peaceful way to sit down and talk and figure out how we're going to fix America. But let's start with Milwaukee. Start with your house. Start with your family. Make sure everything is on the up and up. Make sure everything is taken care of. Your kids are safe, your family's safe, your cousins, aunts, uncles, whatever. Make sure your immediate family is safe. And then turn outward. Again, it's cold outside. Make sure you check on your neighbors. I'll see you all on Monday. And I'll kick it around back then. You taking off tomorrow, Jason?
Yeah, I'm off tomorrow.
All right. You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. Tomorrow, you'll have the best of, where Jason and I will be out partying, doing something. Probably in the house, it'll be too cold. I will see you on Monday. God bless. Take care. Hang out this weekend. Go check out all the things we talked about. There's basketball on Saturday with the Panthers. Like, it's so much great things going on this weekend. Just hang out. DJ Brother Z, what you talking about? What you talking about? All right. Everybody leaving. All right, I guess I'm leaving too. Hey, I'm out.